Coming to you from deep within the heart of Texas in our secret underground bunkers, it's the New Republic Radio Show. Welcome to the Friday show of the New Republic. I'm your host, Keith Clark, coming to you from the underground bunkers deep in the heart of Texas. I apologize if you hear a little fan noise in the background. It's getting a little bit cooler here in Texas, and the AC for some reason just doesn't want to get on the right temperature. So I had to bring a fan in here in the studio. So you may hear that a little bit in the background. I hope it doesn't bother you guys. But overall, we're having a really great week here in the New Republic studios. Here at the underground bunker, it's been a great week. The weather's starting to change. We've been getting rain. However, I've been under the weather a little bit, but I'm getting much better. As you can tell, my voice may sound a little weird, but it should hold up for the show. Anyway, for us here in Texas, it's been a fairly decent week, except for the past couple of days. And for the nation and the world as a whole, this past week has really been rough. But before I really get into that, I want to announce one thing. And that is that we're having a contest. The New Republic, in order to really push its YouTube page, we're giving away a $50 pair of Sennheiser headphones. Now, as many of you won't know, Sennheiser is probably one of the best, if not the best, headphone companies. Now, a lot of you are probably familiar with like Dre Beats and stuff like that. That's something that you won't see here on the show because that is a subpar product. Granted, they are probably the most popular headphone out right now, but as many times you will find what's popular and what's good are two different things. But yeah, my extensive years and years and years in high-end home and car audio, I would never associate myself with a name like Dre Beats because of their performance. I have no problem with Dr. Dre. However, the performance of their equipment is subpar. So, as many of you know, when it comes to items, things, I like the best. I only want to own the best. And when it comes to something that I can actually pay for, I'm going to have the best. And if I'm going to give something away, I'm going to give away the best. So, yeah, a pair of in-ear Sennheiser headphones. Once we get to 50 subscribers on the YouTube page, we're going to give away a pair. So try to be one of those numbers of those 50 people, so that way you can get a free pair of $50 headphones and get you some good sounding ones too, all at the same time. What do you have to lose? Go subscribe now. Put the show on pause. Go up and subscribe. If you have to start a YouTube account, honestly, is that a whole lot of work to get a $50 pair of headphones? We'll be having other contests too as we go, but that's something we're just trying to get the YouTube page off the ground. We have other pages that are going good, but we just need to focus on that a little bit right now. Anyway, moving on from the contest, we're going to talk about some of the big craziness that's been going on this week. As everybody knows, the 9/11 was this week. And because of that, we have had a lot of attacks on our embassies. A bunch of coordinated attacks. We have embassies on 3 continents that have been attacked, all in basically either a coordinated situation, or some of them maybe are just a reactionary thing. Hey, if they're going to do it, we're going to do it too. A lot of this now, of course, is being blamed on a film that was released. And here's the thing about that film that was supposedly anti-Islam. It's on YouTube. It's unheard of. Nobody knows it, but nobody's seen it. But evidently, the White House wants to blame this all on this film. And the problem with doing that is there's not a lot of facts that point towards that, because why would they coordinate it on September 11th on to do this all on the date of the attacks of September 11th? That really just doesn't make any sense. And why would it be so coordinated? There's been many films and books and stuff like this on YouTube that are plenty anti-Islamic, and they've not garnered this kind of supposed outrage and hatred. So, I leave that part to you. Really, is that the line that we're buying from the White House? For instance, the White House, what was that thing that they released here? Protest not directed at us. Protest not directed at U.S. However, in all the protests, people are burning American flags. They're burning Obama effigy dolls. So how is that not directed at the U.S.? Seriously? That's directed at the film? I mean, if that were the case, why aren't they burning film rolls or using the name of the directors, or, for instance, like, I don't know, burning something, signs that have the name of the YouTube video? I mean, seriously. It's an obvious White House cover-up. It's a deflection because it's an election year. And, of course, granted, even if it was an election year, I don't doubt that the Obama White House would not try to deflect. This is all purposely directed at the U.S., and it has nothing to do with the movie. Another outrage about this is the simple fact that on September 4th, Egypt intelligence warned of attacks on Israel and U.S. embassies. On September 4th. So we had previous knowledge that this was going to happen. We had plenty of time. I mean, not a lot of time, but we had quite a bit of time. September 4th versus September 11th. We had a little bit of time to ramp up and get ready for this. Also, you have the fact that on September 4th, Obama didn't read any of his security, he may have read his security briefings, but he did not attend any of them. He's not been attending hardly any of his security briefings. And I think that is one of the biggest problems with the whole situation in the Middle East right now. I really do think it's possible that Obama did not see this coming, that he was just in la-la land. He was worried about getting money for his campaign and stumping, and going out there and trying to get votes. I think that's basically what he was concentrating on, focusing on. And he did not see this coming, even though our intelligence and the people that are in place to warn the president of these things, even though they were there trying to tell him, but of course he wouldn't meet with them. He's got more important things to do than meet with security chiefs. Seriously, like that's one of the primary jobs of a U.S. president, is to take heed of foreign intelligence. Now, I laugh because the White House tried to deflect a lot of this with the fact that they said, well, Bush, he never read his actual intelligence reports. He had somebody read them to him. And Obama is so sophisticated that even though he doesn't actually meet with his intelligence officials, he reads the reports every day. And he doesn't have someone read them to him. Now, seriously, that's a defense? Well, I mean, I don't do it, but that other guy, he had it read to him. I mean, I don't actually go. I mean, he went to the meeting, but that is somehow worse than me not going to the meeting at all, but I read them. I mean, obviously he didn't read them because he would have been worried about it. Here's the other question. It's September 11th. Why would you not ramp up security around these bases? Or rather, embassies, rather. Excuse me, they're not bases. But why would you not have that ramped up? Well, here's one reason. And that's because Obama had cut $2 million from protection of foreign missions. $2 million. And $192 million from embassy security. So the security around these embassies was very lax. Some of the Marines are even reporting that they didn't even have live ammunition, that they were not allowed to have live ammunition. Because there's been a lot of questions of how our embassy was overran. I mean, seriously, like, I'm a tough guy, but if there's even 10 Marines with weapons, And it's, me, I'm sorry. I might make it, I might make it 10 or 20 feet in, a lot further than the average person. But, no, not against 10 Marines. Those guys, they know exactly what they're doing. They're not going to even let me, if I stick my head up over that wall, I'm dead. I'm as good as dead. So seriously, there are some serious questions that need to be asked that are not being asked, of course, because the media is going to protect Obama. But yeah, I mean, these are some of the hard questions we need to ask. Why was security not ramped up? Why has all this money been cut from embassy security? And why was Obama completely oblivious to all this stuff that's going on right now, and he didn't see it? And we have even Egypt themselves, very questionable country right now, where this all started. They tried to warn the embassy. Obama didn't listen. Some of the reports, statements from the White House: we're very proud of the president's record on foreign policy. The Middle East is burning. Embassies on 3 continents in trouble. And we're very proud of the president's record on foreign policy. Give me a freaking break. Seriously? White House spin 24/7. And I want to bring up a very good point here. Flashback. The day I'm inaugurated, Muslim hostility will ease. Who said that? Mr. Obama said that. And you know what? The funny part is the exact opposite has happened. And you know what? It's not really funny, but it's ironic in a horribly sadistic and sad way. That exactly the opposite of what he said. So basically, apologizing. Oh, and that leads me. Why did he apologize to Egypt first and foremost? Once the attacks happened. Yes, he repealed the apology. They took that back, but he still did it. But here's the thing. Apologizing, meeting all their demands, and basically, hey, we'll be nice, we'll play nice, y'all just do whatever you want to do. Appeasing all these crazy Muslim countries. Not all of them are crazy, but some of them out there, Egypt is one. What has it gotten us? It's gotten us what is going on today. It's gotten us a complete and total mess. Iran is pushing forward with their nuclear program. Israel doesn't know what to do. They're like, we basically left them hanging in the wind because they're looking at it going, guys, seriously, when Iran gets nuclear missiles, we're done for. Yeah, we might survive, but who wants to give up a third or half of their population in a nuclear war? And that is ridiculous to ask them to do that when we could do something. No. But what does President Obama do? No. He tells Netanyahu, sorry, man, just beat sand, dude. I can't help you. I got an election to win. Netanyahu asked him, he said he would fly to New York where Obama was going to be. He said he would fly to New York and meet with him. Did he get that meeting? No. He was told to beat sand. Why? Oh man, he had to meet with David Letterman. He had the David Letterman show. Then Netanyahu was like, okay, obviously that's ridiculous, but let me try something. He asked if he could fly to Washington and meet him there. No, can't do it. Got something else too important. Seriously, what is more important than meeting with Israel and Iran and calming this whole situation down? You know what is more important to Mr. Obama? His campaign. Because that's what he's been doing. He's been going around hanging out with all of his Hollywood friends, getting all the money that he can for his election. This man is more concerned with getting elected than he is at possibly stopping World War III. Now, there's 2 options there. Either the man is completely lost in La La Land, or he's just a complete idiot and he thinks that that's a good thing. Now, either choice is a bad choice, and that's a very good reason why we need to get rid of this idiot. 979-31-TALK-6. 979-31-TALK-6. Give me your ideas. Give me your comments. Argue with me. And here's my question. Where's Romney on all this? Yeah, I know the media, they gave him a big hard time because he said basically under a Romney administration, this kind of stuff wouldn't happen. But you know what? It's true. Because here's the thing. Even if Romney were completely inept at foreign policy, he wouldn't do nothing, which is exactly what Obama has done. So if there were Marines with actual rounds, live rounds of ammunition, and if they weren't cut $129 million worth of security, people, 400 citizens in Egypt or wherever would be a lot more worried about rushing one of our embassies. And ultimately people have died over this. So I ask you this, Romney, why aren't you bringing up the fact that under Fast and Furious, an American citizen died, over 400 Mexican citizens were killed? Under Obama's foreign policy, Americans have been killed. Why aren't you bringing this up? Why aren't you bringing up the fact that the Middle East is in flames? So that goes back to my other ideas. It's the simple fact that Romney doesn't want to win any more than Obama wants to win. And they're not, either one of them are trying because they know what the outcome's going to be. They know it's 8 years Republican, it's 8 years Democrat. And Romney is setting himself up for the fall. I guess he's been paid or told what he's going to do. But he's not trying, because if he was trying, he would be saying and doing all these things. And if Obama didn't know that the race wasn't already won, he wouldn't be telling the Russian prime minister, wait until after the election when I can be more flexible. He wouldn't be basically calling in his DNC speech, which everybody thought was just unimpressive. Basically, Clinton completely outperformed him. So he basically just called in his DNC speech. He wouldn't be running around worried about getting all this money and not thinking about how the U.S. populace would think about him as our embassies are burning, as the Middle East is in turmoil, as we're basically hanging by a thread to start World War III. He would be worried about that if he didn't know that the election was not going to be thrown. He would be worried about that. He would be saying things. He'd be doing things. But no, he's not. He knows he will be reelected. Whatever backdoor deals, whatever. But we know that's just sad fact is that's how it goes down. You have 8 years Democrat, 8 years Republican, 8 years Democrat, and so on. We're ruled by an oligarchy. We're ruled by the Bushes, the Obamas, and the Clintons. And that's just what this America has been for the past 20 plus years, almost 30 years. Yeah, we think we have choices, but if you really look at it, this is just really not adding up. It's really not adding up. Romney could really hit home here. He could really score some points. He's not doing it. Obama, he could get off his butt. He could have number one, he could have stopped all this from happening from the get-go. And he could get off the stump and stop worrying about money, and he could do something about it and make Americans feel like they have a leader. Both of them could do all that, but they're not, neither one of them. So really, on one hand, you got to say, are these people just completely inept? Well, I don't think that they got where they're at by being completely inept. So there's a lot more going on here than we realize. And it's just a sad day because I would like to see some difference in the White House. I'd like to see Romney get in there. We'd have a great vice president, an okay president, but we might have some ability for change. Something good might come of it. But what I'm seeing now is I just see, one guy that not really trying to win the White House, and the other guy that just doesn't care. He seems to think that he's in there no matter what. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, I saw a poll here today. Romney 48%, Obama 45%. Now, this just amazes me because of simple fact. Really? You're asking people today who they're voting for? If anybody says Obama, you're a complete freaking moron. Now, I'm not trying to say you need to vote for Romney, but I'm dang sure trying to say that you need to not vote for Obama. Because if you are, there's just you're stupid. I hate to say it. I know this is going to offend some of my friends out there, but you're stupid. Because the Middle East is in flames. Our economy is completely destroyed. We have crazy unemployment. No future of anything turning around. Today, our U.S. credit just got downgraded again. Seriously? You think that's good? Even as much of a mess and a failure that Bush was as a president, this man, Obama, takes it to the extreme. I mean, Bush at least was smart enough to put smart people in certain key places to at least keep the country from going completely out of hand. Now, Obama, since he's so smart and he thinks he's the savior, he wants to do everything himself or tell everybody else what to do. And our country's going completely haywire. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Really, if you're voting for Obama, you need to reevaluate life. Because the man's a failure. And if this whole Middle East thing, if the whole 9/11 Middle East thing doesn't turn that light on for you, I don't know what to tell you. Look, I understand if you're black and you're like, man, I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Black people are strong and intelligent, and we're proud, and I want to propagate that. You know what? That's a great thing, and I understand where you're coming from. But you know what? Just like all white people aren't perfect and good, all black people aren't perfect and good. And this just happened to be one of those guys that just wasn't the good choice. There's many, many black people that would be much better as a president of the United States than unfortunately Mr. Obama is. If you're a white guy and you've got the liberal guilt thing going on, oh man, we oppressed the black folks for so long. And we've done so many bad, horrible things to them. We need to give this to them. We need to give this will help them, give them pride and hope, and they'll believe and they'll take part in the system, and they just deserve it. Well, you know what? There's a lot of black folks that deserve it, but Mr. Obama is not one of them. And if you're just a dyed-in-the-wool liberal and it just doesn't matter to you because, I don't know, because he's just got a D behind his name, then you, sir or ma'am, y'all are the people that's wrong with this nation. If you vote on people because they're a Democrat or a Republican, please stop voting. Because your vote is what screws everything else up. Because you're voting not for ideas, not for right or wrong, not for any kind of progress in America. You're simply voting for a party, and you're part of the problem with America. You're one of the Obama people. You're messing up America just as much as he is. If you're a Hispanic or another minority, and you're just voting for Obama because he's a minority, then you are part of the problem too, and that's a little bit racist. All right, not a little bit racist. That's a lot racist. You should never vote for anybody because of their status as a citizen as far as minority or not. Black, white, green, purple, or pink. If you're voting for these kind of reasons, please stop. Because you're not helping anything. You're part of the problem. But maybe these words will maybe make you think just a little bit. and maybe make you wonder, maybe I'm not a Democrat. Maybe I'm not an Obama supporter. Maybe I want what's actually good for the nation as a whole and not what other people are telling me is good for the nation. Think for yourself. Find out facts for yourself. That's the problem. Don't listen to CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, ABC, NBC. Don't listen to those people. They're not reporting news. They're reporting to you what they think is happening. The sooner you learn that, the faster you're going to be a better person. And honestly, the better information you're going to have. But you're going to have to go out to news sites on the web. You're going to have to go listen to shows like mine and other shows out there. You're going to have to listen to Michael Savage. You're going to have to even listen to folks like Glenn Beck. He might not say a lot of the things that I agree with, but he does. He knows a lot more about truth than most of those folks. 979-31-TALK-6. 979-31-TALK-6. And on to a new section of my show, a new segment. This segment is going to be called Liberal Nonsense. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the internet, over the news, wherever, and just report some of these very liberal and very biased news articles or whatever you want to call it that people are reporting. And I'm going to basically debunk them. And or if it's just obvious to everybody, I'm just going to make fun of them. Anyway, one of the first things I found on Alan Combs' Liberal Land, Romney would prosecute adult entertainment, aka pornography. So this is a big thing with the liberals. They're very much into their porn. They want every type of porn, any kind of porn all day, porn everywhere, porn on the phone, porn on the TV, porn in the magazines, porn everywhere they go. And you know what? That's fine. That's their business. But, they're so ate up with that. They are actually worried that if Romney was elected president, that he would do things to hurt the porn industry. Let me tell you first and foremost, you might be right. Romney might not like porn. He might even say some negative things about it. But if he was president, let me tell you something. There's nothing, absolutely nothing he could do to the porn industry. Because of the simple fact, freedom of speech. I mean, look back on all the stuff that Playboy went through, all the things that Hustler went through. They even made movies about the Hustler situation. There's nothing a sitting president can do about porn. Get it out your head. Stop using it as fodder for the election. It's just nonsense. Next, here's an article that I found about... Okay, they did a questionnaire and they asked 1,000 people of who would win over Obama and Romney in a fistfight. Somehow, Obama won by 58% to 22%. Now, I really don't get this because neither one of them, Obama or Romney, neither one of them are in shape. And they both look just sad because they have no muscle definition, no muscle to speak of. But let me tell you something. In a fistfight, Obama, I think, would lose because he's a little bit effeminate. If you really look at him, he's kind of one of those ganglier. They talk about how athletic he is and he plays basketball and stuff. And I'm sorry, the man is not athletic. I seriously, in a fistfight, I just don't see him winning. Because he's just, like I say, he's a little too small for a guy. I just don't see him. And plus, on top of that, his whole attitude and everything, I just think, you punch him in the eye once and he'd probably start crying. I don't know. I just think it's funny. It's completely a worthless thing. Why they did ask 1,000 people this, I don't know. But I just wanted to show you because it highlights some of the craziness that like these liberals, these left people talk about and think about. And here was the other one that I found. Is Netanyahu trying to influence the U.S. election? And they brought up the simple fact of how this week he called out, not by name, but he called out the administration because of the simple fact that they keep ignoring him. They won't talk to him. They put all these red lines on Israel, do not cross, but they don't say anything about that to Iran. And now they're asking, is Netanyahu trying to influence the U.S. election? Well, yeah. I mean, seriously? If you're the prime minister of a country, you don't think you're going to say something or try to at least get people to wake up and say, look, man, your leader, Obama, the White House, they're completely ignoring this huge freaking boiler pot that's about to explode all over the place. Yeah, it's in his own best interest to influence the election. And I personally hope that he does because, yeah, I mean, maybe if you're liberal, you don't want people knowing about that or thinking about that. But seriously? I don't know. I just thought it was funny because they're worried about him influencing the election. But this whole Middle East thing is just, they need to be worrying about that. They don't need to be worrying about Netanyahu. Anyway, that's all I have for the show. We're getting to the 30-minute point. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry that I had a bit of a hiatus from you guys. But other than that, I just ask you guys to go out, do some good deeds, build up your community, do something for somebody, do something for some people. If you can go volunteer at a church or just for people or give some money or give some time, that'd be a great thing because, as I always say, if you give to your community will give to you. And just a simple thing like a smile, opening up the door for somebody, saying thank you, saying no thank you. It makes a difference, believe me. And if you spread that, it'll spread beyond your wildest imagination. Just one simple smile. After that smile's filtered through 10 or 12 people, you never know what it'll turn into. So anyway, you guys have a great one. I love you all. And check back with us coming Monday for Monday's show. Again, don't forget the contest. Go to the YouTube page. Subscribe. Make comments. Click likes. Click dislikes. I don't care. Good or bad. Doesn't matter. But you got to subscribe or you won't get the really, 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 really awesome Sennheiser headphones. So, anyway, talk to y'all later. Have a good one.